Now, I'm going to tell you the difference between a slave and a prisoner. You see, a slave thinks that his greatest hope in life is to please his master, is to work hard for master. He doesn't desire to be free. He doesn't desire to be on his own. He thinks there's two classes of people, owners and workers. And he doesn't see himself as an owner. And so when you go to a slave, he resents even the notion that he can be what he doesn't think he is. And he'll waste all your time and all your energy bringing you down, all the folks you bring him around, because he has a partisan mentality. But a prisoner, folks, a prisoner will spend 20 years with a spoon trying to dig a hole through a concrete wall. You cannot keep a prisoner until he dies. A prisoner understands that over that wall is freedom, over that wall is prosperity, over that wall is self-determination. A prisoner desires one thing: to get over that wall. And when you show this plan to a prisoner, folks, you got a firebrand on your hands. He understands. Now, if you throw a rope to a slave, the slave thinks you're going to lynch him. You try to get a slave out of slavery by throwing a rope to him, you must hate him. How dare you try to bring me down by giving me a rope? A slave will resist you, will fight against you when you come to him and try to help him out. But you throw a rope over the wall to a prisoner, he will grab it, thank you for it, praise you for it, be your buddy, work with you to get other folks out also. Is that what you want here? Is that what you want here? You want prisoners, folks. Now, some of you bring these slaves into your prison farm and got your rope already and throwing the rope over the side over here, and your slaves are oiling the rope for you. They just put a little oil on the rope because the slave doesn't want you to be free or your other prisoners, and they will oil your rope, put grease on the rope, try all they can do. While you're up there working, they're up there doing the little grease. What do they call it? W-40? What's it called? Now, some of you may have brought some slaves here this weekend. They're sitting around all in your rope for you. And then the way you get around that is by tying a knot in those ropes. So you can hold on and grasp on, and you tie 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, 7, 8 knots, as much as it takes to get to where you want to get to, the top of that wall. And a knot, every FED you go to is a knot. Every meeting, every plan you show is a knot. Everyone you sign up for the freedom train is a knot. And you will be climbing out and leading other people free. You can't be free unless you got freedom up here, folks. It has to be a desire. So how are you going to live your life? Whether you're going to be free or slaves all depends on how you handle your rope. Are you going to let someone else play with the rope for you? Are you going to be a slave, be afraid of the rope, be afraid of freedom? People are afraid, folks, of freedom. There's an old saying, dare to be rich, because it is a dare. It is frightening for some people to be rich. I was tired of being a slave. I decided to be a prisoner and dig my way out. And what I noticed is that a lot of folks around me did not want me to be free. The reason why, of course, is that if I became free, they could also. They were just lazy. I'm going to tell you why the people you talk to, some folks you talk to, cannot comprehend freedom. I'll tell you why they can't accept the truth that you're giving them. Because, folks, many people know the truth when they hear it. And the truth will set you free. But there's a reason why some people reject the truth. Because when you accept the truth, when you hear the truth and accept it as true, when you believe in your heart it is true, the truth compels you to action. You cannot accept the truth and not be moved by it and not act upon it. You cannot do that. Your only hope is to throw the truth out, ridicule the truth teller, try to disguise the truth in magical thinking, or somehow deny the reality of the truth. You cannot accept the truth because you will have to do something. In any circumstances, you have an abused woman that's beaten by her husband. You can't go to her and say, leave that man. He's beating you up. she doesn't understand what you mean. She will continue to go back to that abusive husband because, oh, how am I going to eat? Who'll take care of my kids? She has all the excuses in the world. And if you do get her away, she'll go find another abusive husband to take care of her because she has not accepted the truth. But once she understands, I have to get out of this, once you accept the truth that he is an abusive husband and will not change, you don't have to tell her to get away. And the same thing in this business, the same thing in being free. If you are a freedom person who believes in freedom, you're going to accept freedom as a resource and as a possibility, and you're going to walk toward freedom. Well, at Berkeley, when I finally accepted the truth, folks, you have to understand, I had to leave my friends and look to them as enemies and go and find new friends that I used to call my enemies. That was tough. But I was determined to be free. I was determined that no one was going to stop me from being successful. And in this business, your success comes by you going out like the slaves did and going to freedom. How it worked, folks, and why you're my hero is that you are the new Underground Railroad. You know, the old Underground Railroad was organized by freedom-loving people, citizens, who were already free, most were wealthy, already take care of their business, but they understood there were some slaves out there that had to be free, and they refused. They refused to live in a nation of slavery. They refused to live in a nation that one man held another man bondage. They refused to accept a nation like that. So they banded together and they set up safe houses. And when those few slaves escaped the plantation and got to freedom, they sent them back to their own plantation to lead their own people out. They didn't go to a new plantation or a different plantation or an easy plantation. They sent them back to their plantation for a reason. Because when you knock on that door at 1 o'clock in the morning and you open your door up, there was your mother that took off last summer. There was your brother that left last spring. And master told you he died and she wasn't coming back. And that escaping is death. But there was living proof in front of you now. There was mom and dad and sister or brother. And they knock on that door and they tell you, master is lying to you about freedom. Master is lying to you about your ability to get ahead, to take care of yourself, to be economically free. He is lying to you. I have been to freedom. I've gone to freedom. I have seen freedom. I'm coming back to take you to freedom. Let's go to freedom. And they pick them up and they take them with them and they make them a promise. If you stumble, we'll pick you up. If you get lost, we're going to find you. We will never leave you. When we know the way, we know the fears, we know the obstacles, we will take you all the way to freedom. If I get lost, I'll find somebody that knows the way better. Now what you're doing, you're telling people that are in slavery, I have been to freedom. I have been and heard Dexter. I have seen his leaders who've come up. I have witnessed this to success. I know how to get to freedom. Let's go to freedom. If you get lost, we're going to find you. If you stumble, we're going to pick you up. If you get discouraged, we're going to encourage you. We're going to all go to freedom together. Let's go. Pick it up. And today, instead of having safe house meetings in the cornfields in the South, you're having home meetings now all across this nation. And you're sitting down at the homes, at the kitchen table with the wife and the husband and the children, and you're talking about freedom. You're bringing a message of hope and freedom, and they're scared and they're nervous, and you're saying, but you can do it. Master is lying to you. You can be free, you can be independent. His only hope, his only power is to convince you that you can do it. But I am coming to tell you, I have seen freedom work. It is working for me and my family. We're going to take you with us, and we desire to help you every step of the way. But you got to get up and you got to walk. You got to take that first step. We can't take it for you, folks. Harriet Tubman went 27 times. 27 times to her plantation, to her own plantation. Folks, they had to know she was coming. 27 times she went to bring out her mother, her sister, her family, her children. 27 times with a bounty, dead or alive, $40,000. Dead or alive. A slave could buy their freedom for $500, and they were offering $40,000 dead or alive. She never got caught, and she never lost one slave. The reason why is that she only took those who really wanted to go to freedom.